How you doing?
Good. How are you? Today I'm gonna
Good.
be good. Today I'm gonna interview Evan. Would uh would you like to introduce to yourself to the audience, please,
Hey
of who you
guys, my
are?
name is yes. Hey guys, my name is Evan Burse. I'm a, I guess, longtime animation professional, working in the animation industry, and I also have a YouTube channel called Cartoon Block, where I show people how to draw some of their favorite characters and so forth. And I also have my own Cartoon Block Academy, which is an online training resource for people who want to, increase or better their drawing skills.
Right. Thank you so much for that. Now I read your bio, which is very interesting, and I was like, wow, it's very. I'm like stoked, right? Because I
Hmm.
saw a long time ago in during 2012, I
Hmm.
saw one of your video. You were in your studio at home, and I remember because I watched one of your video that you interviewed Mark Selly. I
Yeah,
remember.
Mark Curley. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mark Curley, yeah. Now, have you since you're in the animation professional for 10 years, you work on just as Batman, the Brave and the Bold,
Hmm.
Black Panther, Marvel, Hulk, and
Yep.
the Smash and Teen Titans, right? That's
Hmm.
pretty awesome. That's my favorite
Yep.
show.
Oh, thanks, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. That's pretty cool. How did you begin your animation career? What make you love drawing?
Well, I've always been drawing since I was, a boy. So always been drawing. Everyone draws in school. All people who are in kindergarten and first grade, everybody draws. The teacher gives you the red crayon and you color in an apple. Everyone draws. It's just that for most of us artists like me, we simply never stopped. As you get older, most people get into sports and things like that. Well, I really wasn't a sports kind of person. I was just always into my comic books and tracing my comic books and drawing on my comic books and just constantly just moving. And that was how I learned to draw. So, and I'm a kid of the 80s. So at that time, I was inspired by He-Man, Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, Voltron, Robotech, all those things from like those cartoons during the 80s and stuff like that. And then of course when computer animated shows started becoming more popular with the introduction of Toy Story, which came out in 1994, I believe, when Toy Story came out, and that changed the game. So that was CG, that was new, but still traditional television animation. I loved it. I really did love it. But that's where my love of drawing and my love of superheroes started, ever since way back when I was a kid.
Oh wow. Hmm. I love Ultron.
Hmm.
Um, when okay, so here we go. When beginners want to learn how to draw, where do they need to begin?
Well, you want to start by just having fun. I tell people that that's the first thing. Just have fun. It doesn't matter if your drawing looks cool, if it looks crazy, ugly. It doesn't matter if it's a doodle. It doesn't matter. A lot of times people get hung up on, oh, it doesn't quite look like that. It doesn't quite look like the way I want it to. And so I say, don't worry about that. Just start having fun. Draw the subject that you enjoy. If you like drawing cars, then draw cars. Doesn't matter if they're ugly drawings or not. If you enjoy drawing buildings and backgrounds and landscapes and forests and jungles and environments, then draw that. Okay. Or if you enjoy drawing characters, which is more of my forte, and drawing people, then draw that. It doesn't matter whichever area you draw, just start doing it and don't worry about if your drawings are ugly or pretty. Because to be honest with you, they're going to be ugly. Okay. Just accept it, embrace it, and just, my drawings are ugly. But the more you draw that you're drawing over and over again, which is practice, you're going to gradually get better and better and better and better and better.
Right. Thank you so much for that. And because I stopped drawing for a while because I feel like sometimes because I can draw like not as well as people, but I can draw faces, right? Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
animation faces. But sometimes I got hung over. I can't like because I hear you say your forte is people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't. I only can draw like still faces and I can draw still body, but I can't
Mm-hmm.
draw as some people where they do poses.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. And what can I do for that, because I'm always stuck in like a still picture, but I want to do like, like martial art type things. What can I do?
Everything that you just said, as far as you want to basically draw people in action or in certain
Right.
poses,
Mm.
that's what I specify, and in that area in my Cartoon Block Academy. I specifically go into that particular area of drawing on how to draw people in action poses. So the first thing I recommend people to do is to go ahead and look at your favorite martial arts films and pause it. Just remote or watching it online, just pause it, freeze frame it, then draw that pose. Okay. We all love movies like The Matrix, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Yeah. And just, is that it? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? Yeah. Is it? Hidden? Yeah. So, or Ip Man. I love Ip Man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. So look at your favorite Kung Fu martial arts films. And then whatever pose you like, pause the movie. Then I recommend you trace it. Trace that picture, take a screenshot of it, print it out on paper, and then trace it. Try to understand it. Then redraw it again, but this time you're going to exaggerate certain things. Make the foot bigger, move the leg slightly higher. And that's how I recommend, even for my students, to begin practicing to get the feel of action movies. I'll give you a prime example. While I was working on like Teen Titans and Batman Brave and the Bold and other shows and stuff, all the storyboard artists at that time, we watched Kung Fu flicks. We watch martial arts flicks. We watch other anime. While doing Teen Titans, the producer wanted the crew to study Fooly Cooly, so we had to study those things, and he wanted to mimic that style of the animation. We couldn't get it exactly, but he wanted us to use that as inspiration and how to focus on. I know at that time, a lot of my counterparts and other colleagues worked on Boondocks, the animated series, around that same time in the early 2000s. And their producer wanted them to study Samurai Champloo. So it's amazing how we all look at, our, Eastern influences for American animation. But we also study film. We also look at film, and we're like, at that time, now everything's online, but at that time, early 2000s, a lot of the storyboard artists had their own portable DVD players at their desk, and they would play the DVD and pause it, and they would copy the shot, like, certain characters and stuff like that. You'd be surprised how much stuff that we kind of recycled in Hollywood. Everyone's not really coming up with anything brand new, but we tend to just get it done, because when you're making a television series, you have to just get it done. You got to just draw it and get it done, get it out there. You're not trying to create the next Mona Lisa. So you're just doing it and stuff like that. But I highly recommend people look at your favorite action movies, or your favorite anime or animation series, or comic books or animated film, whichever you like, and look at it, draw, copy what that artist did. All right, these are not your own original drawings, so don't share it with people and say, oh, look what I drew, this right here, I drew Neo from The Matrix. Well, you trace that, but you use that to study and how it looks and stuff like that. Look at some of your favorite anime. How do they handle fight scenes? Look, like I said, Samurai Champloo, Avatar: The Last Airbender is a very good one for learning martial arts, and how they drew martial arts. And looking at that series, people, the animators and creators, actually looked at, martial artists. They actually took a camcorder, filmed martial artists doing, certain poses and movements and flips. And that was how they got like the water benders and the air benders and the move. They didn't make that stuff up. They actually recorded, took a camcorder and said, okay, guys, go ahead and do your, whatever that martial artist particular style was. And these guys would go out and do their movements and motions and stuff. That way the animators had a reference, and the storyboard artists had a reference when they went back into their studio. They could look at the video and then draw. Now, they may have exaggerated certain things, but they could at least have it based in reality, so it didn't look all that off and stuff like that. So look at everything. Hmm.
That okay. When you say it like that, that truly makes sense. Thank you so much for that.
Hmm.
Do you have like a photographic memory? Because I feel like sometimes I can't. Like I would be like drawing a face, but I will make it up, right? But I
Hmm.
can't. There are some people who can draw an art, but they can remember it. Is that for you or how?
No. Mm-mm. That's not for me. I don't have a photographic memory at all. Now you do remember how to draw. I remember how to draw certain characters. Like I can draw Batman, Spider-Man, Flash, Captain America. You know, the more popular characters because we see them all the time when we go out. Okay, if you go to like 7-Eleven or a fast food restaurant, there's always a new movie being promoted on the soda cup. So you go to Target or Walmart or something and department stores and you see all the promotional material. Oh, there's R2D2 and Star Wars and Kylo Ren. So there's some branding that's going on. Every time we go out in public, we see certain characters over and over again. But only with the popular characters. That's about it. It's the only time we all know how they look. And I don't even try to remember every specific detail on them. For example, recently I was drawing Black Panther and I was trying to remember how the intricate pattern is on his helmet, on his mask. And I said, forget it. I'm not going to try and memorize all that. So I'll just hint at it with I'll make up my own. But a lot of artists do that. When I'm at conventions and I draw for the public, and they ask me, say a little kid asked me to draw, who was it? Gamora from the Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know how Gamora looks. All I know is she has green skin. But I know there's something on her face. I don't know what it is in her eyebrows, and I don't know. So I would just kind of like make up certain things. I would first look on my phone and look up reference. So no artist knows how to draw every character out there. No artist does. We always pull up our phones, and this is where Google Images comes in handy and the power of smartphones when we're out in the world. We look up Google Images right there in front of the customer who we're drawing for. Okay, and I pull it up. I still have to look up reference for Iron Man. I don't quite know how Iron Man looks from memory. I don't know every rivet, detail, screw, vents on his head and neck. So I have to pull up reference for it. And throughout time, many artists have drawn Iron Man very differently. He has different looks. Batman has different looks. Okay, so it depends on the artist who's drawing it. So I recommend to people when you are trying to learn how to draw, it takes muscle memory and it takes time. But when you're starting out, you're supposed to have your smartphone with you and you pull it up and when someone asks you, hey, can you draw Daredevil? Okay, yeah, I think I remember how Daredevil looks. Okay, let me pull up some reference for Daredevil. And yeah, I can kind of figure out how his mask comes down around his opening for his mouth and nose to be out. Yeah, I can figure, but pull up the reference. You don't have to memorize it. Smartphones are here to help us. Let's not rack our brain cells and kill ourselves and stress and cause mass chaos. It's like someone wants you to draw Green Goblin. Then I'm not sure how Green Goblin looks. I know he has big eyes, but I don't know how his hood looks. Does it cover his forehead or is it all the way back? Does he have a collar? Is his neck exposed? I don't know. That's when I pull up reference on my phone and I sketch it based off the photograph. So don't try to memorize anything. Now, after you draw on Green Goblin 30 times, then you may not have to look up the reference anymore because now you've memorized it. But that happens over time. So I tell people the more you draw, your drawings are supposed to look awful. They're supposed to look bad. Keep drawing, 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 and drawing. Yes, they're supposed to be awful. Don't be drawn thinking your drawing's supposed to look good. They're not. But you have to go through 99 bad drawings before you get to that one good drawing. So get the bad drawings out of your system. You have to get them out of your system. And that's the part a lot of teachers and instructors fail to say. They fail to say that, well, your first drawings will look terrible. Okay, they don't say that. And they should kind of mention that. All right, they should say that. So that way the student isn't frustrated. I'm not getting it. I've drawn this thing 2-3 times and it doesn't look good. And I erased and I've drawn over again and I've erased, and you know what? No, it's not supposed to look good that third or fourth time. It won't look good until that 99th, 100th time. That's when it will look good. So, but all those drawings you put in your sketchbook, you leave at home, and you only put your best drawings in your portfolio, on your website, which you want to show to sketch card companies, animation studios, or comic book publishers, or wherever you want to show out there. But you should have a ton of bad drawings. You're supposed to have a ton of bad drawings at home in your sketchbook, but you show your best ones to the public.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. That is amazing. I did want to put in input. You know Power Rangers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Jungle Fury?
Jungle what now?
Jungle Fury?
Jungle Fury. Is that a new Power Ranger series?
Oh yeah. It's old, but it's because because me and my brother were talking about Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
It looked almost. I know that most people won't say, but it looked like Power Rangers kind of.
Okay. His costume
okay.
and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It almost looked like Power Rangers if they reference, because there's like Jungle Fury that's almost looked like it, but
okay. I haven't seen it.
But
I haven't
it's okay.
seen it at all.
No, but no, I'm saying just the difference. But I like it because I like Black Panther. It's really like kind of like symbol like Power Rangers. But I haven't watched. When you watch Black Panther, did you watch it yet?
Seen it twice. Yes.
You love it. You love it.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go watch it. Thank you. Here we go. Now this is for a lot of people, right? And including myself, and I'm here to help people to solve their problem. As an artist yourself, how can an artist start making money for their art, and do they need to start learning how to market and sell themselves for their art? Now here's the thing. I noticed that you're great at selling. You're great at follow-up. Because basically you asked me for my money, and I'm giving this for those people because you know how like they have the term of starving artists, right? Do they don't have to be a starving artist, right? So how you
Well,
view
I would say to start out. Well, you asked two questions there for a second. How can someone start out?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tackle your first part of your question. You start out. I suggest to people start out by drawing one character. I would start out with drawing, like, say, for example, who's your favorite character, Johnny?
Well,
Just pick one.
it's Gohan.
Gohan. I would learn how to draw Gohan. Okay, draw Gohan, and just doing him, drawing. You should be drawing him, like sketching him out lightly, maybe like 10 times a day. Okay, when you wake up early in the morning, sketch him like maybe 2 times. On your lunch break, sketch him about 2, 3 more times. And then when you come home from work in the evening, sketch him about 5 times. Start practicing how to draw Gohan. All right. What you want to do is then go visit your local comic book, store, and talk to the comic book owner and show him your best sketches of Gohan, and ask him, say, hey, I'm a huge, Dragon Ball Z fan, and do you think it'd be possible if I could just start, doing maybe some free sketches for your customers here? Maybe you can sit in his comic book store. You can also go say the same thing to your local art supply store. Go visit your local public library and start having a conversation with them. Because I know the library also has like art events for kids and teens and things like that. Start going in your local community and seeing what people have out there for local artists to come and draw for the public. You want to just start getting the feeling of drawing in front of people. That's why you should be practicing Gohan at home. Okay. Then after you kind of get a feel for like, okay, I'm no longer scared of the public and drawing Gohan in front of these people, because I now have drawn him like 100 times, okay, for the public, doing like maybe some free sketches. You can also go to a children's hospital and volunteer there and do, like, I know they have events like that for children. You can like just sketch for them and stuff like that. You just want to get the practice of just drawing Gohan over and 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 over again. Then after a few months of doing that, then you want to go ahead and talk to the comic book store owner and maybe the art supply store manager. What else? The library, and see if you can do paid events. Okay, paid events, like perhaps at the comic book store. And I've taught a lot of my students how to do this, is to go there and to start placing your hang on, let me plug this up. You want to start having conversations with them about, hey, can I do paid sketches for the public? So now you're doing sketches of Gohan, but now you're selling them individually to the public when they come in. So that's how you start out, by doing it. That's how someone can start making money with their artwork, is going. And I teach my students specifically what to say, how to say it when they're starting to get themselves out there. And I teach them the importance of marketing themselves also. This will now tackle the second part of your question. So how do you get yourself out there? One is by walking to all these places, get in your car, go to these places and have conversations with these comic book stores and say, hey, can I do a couple of free sketches? Maybe one Saturday, when do new comics come out? On Wednesdays, I believe. So go there on a Wednesday and ask the owner if you can just do free sketches for like one or two Wednesdays. And then you go ahead and then ask him later, say, okay, now can I do like sell my paid sketches? Like, you want to build up a good rapport with the store first. Let them know that you're not just some fluke, not just some guy who wants to come in there and sell. You're willing to give them some free stuff. When I go to a comic book store, I would think it's pretty cool. There's an artist right there drawing Gohan or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. But if I see him over time, then you know what? I may buy one of his sketches. Say, hey, can you draw Gohan for my son? He's a huge Dragon Ball fan, and then you just sold your sketch, So it takes time to build that up. But that's the fastest way an artist can start making money with their artwork. The other way is to simply go ahead and on Instagram, a lot of your sketches that you're drawing and practicing at home, all your crappy drawings, start putting those crappy drawings on Instagram. Start doing it. Start putting them, because you want to start getting people familiar and you want to be known as an artist. Okay. You have to start getting things out there. And also in your Instagram bio, be sure to go ahead and put in your bio profile, contact me, DM or email me if you want a commission request, a sketch request. You have to start branding yourself as an artist. And once you're putting your stuff out there on Instagram, it can be your YouTube channel. That's how I built up my audience. YouTube channel or Facebook, whichever platform you choose, it doesn't matter, but just make sure you do it consistently and things like that. Instagram is perhaps the easiest way to start building your audience right now, because you have a mixture of putting videos up on your Instagram page, and you can do Instagram live, and you can do Instagram stories. So Instagram is and all you need is your phone. You don't need anything else. You don't need some fancy camera, a setup, a rig, camcorder. We all have the technology on our phones. Everybody has a smartphone nowadays. You don't need anything extra. You need your phone, set it up, and your pencil and paper. You're done. And with all that, you can do the Instagram stories, Instagram live, Instagram videos on your page. You can do it all. But make sure you go ahead and start plugging yourself and promoting yourself as, say, hey, maybe in some of your posts, you can put in there, oh, here's my latest sketch of Goku or Vegeta, or whatever then, Goten or Trunks or whatever it is. You can just start putting it in there. And in that post, you can say, hey, email me if you want a request, a sketch request, or if you want a commission. That's it. And that's how you can start talking to people. People can reach out to you. And that's how I've gotten tons of work. People will contact me and say, hey, I want you to draw my husband as a superhero, or something like that, or whatever it is. Draw my brother as Captain America or something. It all varies, but you have to start putting yourself out there. No one is going to come to you and knock on your door and boom, boom, can you draw this for me? No, they won't.
Right.
You have to make it known. I am an artist. Email me if you want a sketch request. You have to keep plugging that in your Instagram posts and doing videos, putting it in your bio profile on your Instagram page. You have to keep doing it. If you have a Facebook page, which works great with Instagram because Facebook owns Instagram, have the banner at the top of your page, you know, that you want to have, say, hey, contact me if you want a sketch request. Put that in your Facebook banner at the top of your artist page. It's your job as the artist to keep branding yourself and keep putting posts up there. Have a schedule. You have to post on Instagram. Say post, you're going to post like every Tuesday and Thursday. You're going to put up some little short 60-second video on Instagram. Then do it every Tuesday, Thursday. Or say it's Wednesday, Friday. Then stick with every Wednesday, Friday. Or it's Monday, Saturday. Then stick with Monday, Saturday. Whatever schedule you choose for yourself, stick with it and be consistent across the board.
As I listen to your talk, and I do agree with what all you say, I noticed that you know how to do social media marketing, because I see so many of, especially beginning entrepreneurs and beginning all the other, you know, artists. I tell entrepreneurs to understand Twitter, Instagram, like you told to me or to the audience, because there are a certain algorithm to Instagram. There's a like YouTube. I did not know, because I hear your how you know about, you know, Facebook on Instagram, and a lot of people don't know that. And YouTube, it's owned by Google, right? And YouTube, it's a search. And how did you build your YouTube channel for anybody who want to
What
build
I
a
did
YouTube
was I built my YouTube channel by simply posting on a scheduled basis using the same techniques that I just explained about how people can post on Instagram. So, Johnny, did I lose you? You went blank for a second. Are you still there? Let me go ahead and shoot you a message to make sure we didn't lose connection. Hang on just a moment.
Okay.
Hey, Johnny, so what's your, go ahead. You tell me when to go.
Okay. As I was
Is it,
noticing,
is it live right now? Is it going?
it's live. Yeah, it's going. So as I noticed when you're talking about social media, it's very interesting how you know, because I'm trying to help people to you know, use social media. Now, for as YouTube and as myself, I use YouTube, you know, to market or brand myself. How do you use your YouTube? Why did you start your YouTube?
I wanted to use YouTube because it is a great way to reach an audience. If you're a nobody, it's a great way to reach nobody and reach everybody. So me being a nobody at the time when I started my channel in 2009, YouTube was of course was very, very popular. And I said, you know what, let me go ahead and start a YouTube channel. It really began with my son. He kept asking me over and over again, hey, Dad, can you show me how to draw Dragon Ball Z and draw this and draw that? And I would show him. And I started thinking, I wonder how many other kids out there or aspiring artists want to learn how to draw the same superheroes and same, you know, cartoon characters. And so I started doing videos of, you know, popular cartoon characters at that time. And it took off from there. People were watching and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that was how it started. And then it kept growing and growing and growing. So I made more videos, more videos, more videos. And that was where, so I started YouTube because it was a great way to, if you don't have an audience, it's a great way to connect with people and grow your audience. Nowadays, you know, we're in 2018 right now. YouTube is still a strong way to market yourself and to grow your brand. But I will also recommend people using Instagram. That's also a great way, and Facebook as well. So all three of those things work.
I do have a question though, as I noticed that you're very knowledgeable about these platforms. How can an artist like so many want to, you know, do the art? Where did you start learning all this social media? Because I know from my experience that you know, Instagram is also a search engine. You know, that's how you, when you type in, you know, hashtags and stuff, you get searched and found, right? How do you know about these things?
I did a lot of research and study. I studied popular YouTubers at that time when I began, and I basically just copied what they did. You know, if they had contests or giveaways, then I would do contests and giveaways. Like some of those makeup tutorial channels that women have and stuff. They would give away makeup packs or kits or whatever. Well, I don't have any makeup, you know, but I could give away art supplies. So I did what they did. I know some of the video game channels gave away like Xboxes and PS3. I'm like, I ain't got that kind of money. I'm not giving away Xboxes and all that stuff. But I would give away art supplies, you know, and that was what my audience wanted. I would have like a set of pencils or a set of markers or pens or something like that. Or I even gave away iTunes gift cards, you know, so just small things. I would do a giveaway. You know, the way you would do it, I would encourage people to, you know, like my video, leave a comment below, and you enter the chance to win whatever art supplies or something like that. You know, that was how I did my giveaways. So the way I learned about social media was that I copied other people who were on successful channels that were on YouTube. And then I went a step further and I started listening to podcasts on iTunes, different social media experts.
Who
And
made that be? Sorry about that. Who made that be?
one I listened to a lot is called Flipped Lifestyle. So Flipped Lifestyle, it's a husband and wife team. They teach people about how to grow their brand online. I listened to Smart Passive Income by a guy named Pat Flynn. So Flip Lifestyle, Smart Passive Income. Those were the main two right there I listened to.
Have you heard of Gary Vee or like any?
Yes, I know Gary Vee, Gary Vaynerchuk. Yes, Gary's good. Yeah. So I heard a few of his podcasts and things in the past, but these two other ones really resonated with my personality. I like things that they said. I like their personality, how they spoke, how they gave the information and things like that. So Flipped Lifestyle and Smart Passive Income. So I would listen to those, while I'm driving to work. I just pop it in, or if I'm going for a walk or at the gym, you know, on the treadmill or something. I just pop in my headphones and listen to the podcast. And I learned a lot of things and tips and tricks from them. And then in addition to, like I said, looking at other popular YouTubers and seeing what they were doing, things that they said at the end of all their videos that they would say, be sure to subscribe and like. You know, they always said the same things at the end of the day. Always had a call to action to their videos. So I just copied what they did, you know. So if you want to learn how to be successful, well, don't reinvent the wheel. Copy what other people are doing, you know. And over time, I would look at focusing on getting certain camera equipment and what kind of camera does that guy use and what microphone does he use and things like that. But at the end of the day, it wasn't the technical equipment that will make you popular. It's just the consistency at which you post videos and the engagement factor you have with your audience. Those are the key things right there. It's how often you post and what kind of content and information are you teaching your audience? You know, if you're a comedian on YouTube, are you funny? If you're a makeup tutorial artist, then does your makeup look good? You know? And in my case, if you're an artist, then, you know, can people understand my step-by-step drawing instructions? So just focusing on your craft, and over time, you'll slowly get the other things. You'll get a better microphone or a better camera or whatever there is out there. But the main thing is just post consistently on a schedule all the time. People love regular scheduled posts. And then also your information. What information are you giving them in a nice, quick, concise manner that they can digest?
Yes, thank you so much. I really like your mindset when it comes to you're so open-minded, right? A lot of time, you're welcome. A lot of time I tell people this because, you know, I'm teaching a personal development, you know, law of attraction type of stuff, and it's about self-improvement, right? And most of the time when people start to want to do online stuff, they like yourself, you study or you learn your eclectic to online marketing, right? And a lot of people sometimes don't want to learn a lot of online marketing, and they try to do it the slow way, right? But you can see how affect enormous potential that you can get income, right?
Yes, you can definitely go ahead. You can learn it on your own and just do your own thing, but It's like if you want to be a better basketball player, well, shouldn't you learn from a coach? Shouldn't you get a coach? If you want to get ready to be a great athlete, it would help. I mean, you can do some things on your own, of course, you know, work out and jog and run, but it would, you know, really help you grow faster if you could work with an athlete who used to do what you're trying to do, learn their tips and tricks, and then get with a coach who has experience in that field. So all I did, I didn't have my own personal coach. So I used the resources that were out there. I used all those things as my coach. It's like, well, that person said do that. Okay. That person said start an email list. Okay. That you can't do everything everyone says. It's not even humanly possible. All you do is try one thing, stick with it for, you know, a little while, see how it works. If that is successful, then you try something else and then you add that with it. Then you try something else. Oh, the third thing didn't work, so I can't use that anymore. But my first two things are working. You know, you can't do everything. I advise people don't be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. I think there's one out called Vivo now or something. It's just, you can't be everywhere. Okay. Don't be everywhere. Just pick one or two and do those two extremely well. All right. Just do those two because there will always be some new social media platform coming out there. Don't worry about that. I know people who are very successful on Twitter. Twitter was so-called dying away, but these people have successful audiences on Twitter. Twitter is their thing. There are people who have successful audiences just on Instagram. Instagram is their thing. There are people who are flourishing on YouTube. YouTube is their thing. There are people who are on DeviantArt. DeviantArt is where they picked up their audience. That's their thing. Some people just have Facebook. And then some people have a combination, have these two, those two, this one, that three. It doesn't matter, but I would suggest you strongly pick one or two, do them extremely well, okay? And stick with that. Do YouTube and Instagram, done. You know, you're fine. That's it. But do it extremely well before you start picking up other stuff and you're just going to just dilute and just, you're going to run out of energy and just kill yourself. Then you'll be frustrated and angry, and then that won't help anyone. Okay, so pick one or two platforms, stick with those, and you'll be golden.
Yes, thank you so much. I love how you give so much. It can help a lot of artists. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks. Huh?
This is actually for me because I was frustrated, right? Back in like 2012, I was frustrated as heck because I wanted to do like a really good story, right? I wanted to create a comic book or manga, and I was frustrated. I couldn't I could not I talk about how I can only do like I used to copy, like, you heard of Rurouni Kenshin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to copy his style. A lot of manga I read, a lot of manga artists copy other,
Yes,
and,
of course. That's how they learn. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I tried it, and I was frustrated, and I wanted to know when can I create when I want to create a manga or a comic, where do I start, and what do I get it published?
Well, I would say go ahead and start right now by sharing your own personal character, sketches of your characters. So, do you have a story?
I used to, but it's been a while back. I used to.
Okay, I would dig that story up and, polish it, tweak some things. You may want to change some things in that story. Um, and go ahead and I would start doing character sketches of your main character. You know, let's say, for example, let's just say, for example, your story is Star Wars. Okay. You want to start doing a manga story about Star Wars. Well, you can start doing sketches of your main character, your Luke Skywalker, whoever your Luke Skywalker is. Start sketching him. Start sketching him sitting down, practicing, maybe a lightsaber, or he's like fixing a droid. He's fixing R2D2. Start, what is your character doing? Start doing sketches of that and start sharing it. Okay, start sharing it and stuff on Instagram. Let's see sketches of your character happy, sad, angry. Start letting your audience online get used to seeing your character. That's the most important thing. And then you can start sketching your lead female, your Princess Leia. Who is he with a lot? You can start sketching his droids, R2 and C3PO. You can start sketching some of the other characters like Chewie and Han Solo. So whoever your characters are in your world, start sketching, and they don't have to be permanent and like final designs. Just start sharing it. How does your character look when he's at home on his laptop? How does he look when he's practicing his sword fighting in his mom's backyard? How does your character look? Let's see it. Start sharing those character sketches online and let everyone see it and start getting to know, and your name. I would strongly suggest you use your name to get it out there. Like Johnny, put it out there, and contact me if you want character, or sketch requests or commissions. Email me. But people need to start seeing your characters. All the while, you start drawing your manga. You start drawing the pages. Start getting your story fleshed out. Do it now. Draw it. Start drawing the manga. Even if your artwork is crap, still draw the manga. That's the most important thing that people have a hard time getting over, is they have a fear. We have a fear, because I'm guilty of that myself. We have a fear of putting out crappy stuff. The point is that don't worry about if your artwork is ugly, if your story is stupid, silly, and immature. It's more important to get it done and it be bad than for you to wait 10 years to put out the most perfect manga ever. Don't do that. It's more important to get it out there, get the first issue done, and then you can go ahead and sit back and look at it and say, okay, I know what I need to do for issue 2. I need to, draw the character a little differently. I need to get some practice on this more. But when you're drawing that manga, your first one, that's all your practice right there. If you're drawing that same character on every page, 10 different ways, head down, head up, angry, sad, mad, fighting, on a computer, dating his girlfriend, you know what I'm saying, talking to his mentor, his parents. You're drawing this guy in so many situations, you're going to automatically improve over time. Let's say it takes you, 6 months to draw this manga, all right, or 9 months to draw this manga. Then draw it, okay? You're going to be a better artist compared to the first time you draw him compared to 6 months from now, because you'll be drawing him every day. Get it done. It is better that it be done than be perfect. All right?
Yes.
It's just got to be done. It does not have to be perfect. Your artwork is going to suck. Your backgrounds are going to be crappy. Your hairstyles are going to stink. You're going to draw the eyes wrong, the lips wrong, the nose wrong. You're going to draw hands wrong. You're going to draw everything wrong. Everything. You will draw everything wrong. Everything. But at least it's bad drawings that you've gotten out of your system and the practice that you need. So when you do your next issue, you'll be a little better. And then when you do issue number 3, you'll be a little better. And you'll be a little better. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to tons of artists at comic book conventions and things like that, and they all say the same thing. They can't stand to look at their initial artwork when they first got hired in the comic book business. They just like, oh, it makes them cringe. Like, oh, I actually drew that. I don't want to see that. That shows that they grew. They were good enough at that time to get in the industry, but they grew over time, over their career. All right. They're much more knowledgeable. All artists have said that. And as far as your other question about how do you publish your manga, well, this goes back to your audience. As you're growing your audience on social media, through your YouTube, through your Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is, and people are seeing you post a sketch of your character every Friday morning on Instagram, okay, they're going to start slowly getting more accustomed to seeing your character. Oh, here's my character, Luke Skywalker. Here's Luke. Here's Luke. Here's Luke. Then one day you're going to tell them, hey guys, I have a manga I'm publishing. Here's my Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign. And that's when you raise money from your supporters and your fans. And that's how you get your first book published. Then you have your first printed book that you didn't have to pay for. It came from the support of your fans.
Thank you so much for that. And as you were talking about fear, right? I was this one also one of my questions for you. When you start drawing, or did you have any fear or doubt? How did you overcome it? Because I know that so many people, including me, including everybody had fear. How did you overcome it?
I've surrounded myself with other artists who supported me. That's the simplest way how I overcame that. I joined art clubs in high school and college, and even after that, when I became an adult, I simply put myself around like other artists and people who I would meet, through my friends or co-workers and things like that. Being around other artists helps keep you encouraged. It's hard to be an artist and you stay secluded in your mom's basement. I'm going to be the greatest artist in the world. Well, perhaps you might be, but we need human interaction. That is so important. We can't do everything on our own. God built us as social creatures. We're not supposed to be an island. We're supposed to relate to people. And so that's how I became a better artist. So if I was feeling down, oh, my artwork stinks, I could have a friend there, put his hand on my shoulder and say, yo, Evan, that's not your best work, but draw it again. That's all. Draw it again. You can draw it again and keep drawing it and revise it. So just him saying that in my ear, that gave me encouragement to keep going on. So my biggest advice to people is that if you're down about your artwork, or if you want to try and see a lot of quick improvement, surround yourself with other artists.
Yes, thank you so much. I do agree with what you say, because sometimes most people try to do it by themselves. You can't. That's why I have
You can't.
I try to rely on I surround myself with authors online, but they're still supporting, right? And I'm an introverted. I'm a hardcore introverted. But I like to socialize, because I think that most people forget that they're human too. That they forget that they socialize with each other. Because the thing with I don't know if you went to school. I went to school but I got kicked out. But I was in a special education, right? I think what the problem with school is, because I'm trying to make an impact in special education too, right? I think that most schools don't teach about communication with each other human being. I don't know about that. They don't teach you about how to socialize with human being. I don't, or like you said, relate to each other, right? And I do agree with what you said.
Well, schools can't teach you everything. That's where mom and dad come in. Hopefully, mom and dad have taught us how to be kind to people, how to make friends. So, no, it's not school's job to teach us everything. That's where parents come in at. Okay, that's where having big brothers and sisters, grandma, grandpa, older cousins, next door neighbors. That's where we are. That's where our loved ones come into our lives, and hopefully, our loved ones have taught us to say please, say thank you. We learned that stuff back in kindergarten and first grade, how to share. All those basic social skills that we learn, for some reason, we tend to forget them when we become adults. I don't know why that is, but we tend to forget them. Yeah. So no, mom and dad and family and friends, their job is to teach us as children how to help others, how to extend, a helping hand, how to relate to others, how to encourage each other. That's the job of our, family, friends, our churches, our social gatherings and things like that. No, it is not school's job to teach us how to be nice. That's a family thing that needs to be taught at home by watching our parents be kind to each other, watching our siblings be kind to each other, and not fussing and fighting and doing all that. Then we can carry that out in the world and make friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. For you, who's your favorite character?
Oh, I like my favorite character. I would say I have a few. I like Robin a lot. Robin from, it's Batman and Robin. He's just a teen, young, carefree, and just his energy level. That was perhaps like my favorite. I would say that.
Do you see yourself as him or?
No, he just represents has a very attractive quality. It's his youth and energy. You know, he's kind of naive about the world, but also strong. And he balances out the dark side of Batman. So he's a lighter side and just represents youth and energy. Some could say Peter Parker does the same thing. He's young and energetic and wants to do good and stuff like that. But I've always been attracted to Robin's personality. So I like Robin. Perhaps he's perhaps my favorite comic book character. Yeah.
When you're doing, when you were doing Teen Titan, how did you like do the animation, or what's the like behind the scene? It's like.
Well, on Teen Titans, I was the production manager on the crew. So my job was to make sure that all the artists had everything that they needed in order to keep the production going. So I was in charge of making sure all the character designers did all their work. The prop designers, they design all the vehicles and weapons and things like that. The background artists, everything had to be done. So my job was to go ahead and make sure all that was done. And then we would pack up everything, all the storyboards, all the drawings and stuff. And I'd ship that to Korea. And Korea they would do all the frame by frame animation over there. So at Warner Brothers Animation, we would do pre-production here, the storyboards, the script, the voiceover stuff, all the characters, how they would look, their 3/4 turns, their turnarounds, the poses, all that stuff. We put in the shipment package and then ship it to Korea, where they would animate it frame by frame. So they would do what we said. And when it came back over here, then we would go in and add all the sound effects and things like that and give it to Cartoon Network to air.
That's really cool. That's really something. Now, as for you, what is your definition of winning?
Winning. My definition of winning would be for someone to calm their minds, calm their brains, and find out, what gift did God give you? God gave all of us a different gift. And when you pursue that gift, that's when you're winning. Someone's, calling in life could be to be the best gardener in the world. Then go out there and plant trees and plant flowers and plant crops. Okay? What gift did God give you? And does that gift fill you up when you're doing it? For example, for me, I enjoy drawing. That's my contribution to the world. All right. If I couldn't, earn a living with art and things like that, and I had to go out there and start driving a garbage truck tomorrow, okay, I would still be drawing in my spare time because that's what I want to do. I enjoy it. But it's whatever you enjoy and whatever gift God gave you, you're going to do it. That's my definition of winning. Find out, calm your mind, meditate, pray, and focus. And ask yourself, what gift did God give me? Did he give me the gift of networking with people? Did he give me the gift of counseling people and friends and helping them with problems in their life? Did he give me the gift of just connecting businesses and people and people skills? Did he give me the gift of cooking? Should I be a chef? Did he give me the gift of being a gardener, a landscaper, where I go out there and cut grass and plant trees and things like that? What gift did God give you? He gave all of us a different gift. Some of us have the gift of doing hair, cosmetology. Some of us have the gift of doing makeup. Some of us have the gift of figuring out calculus and math problems and being a physicist and being the next Albert Einstein, or being like a Mark Zuckerberg and who can figure out coding and create the next Facebook. And yeah, I have mad respect for those guys who can do that stuff. The guys who created Google and Facebook and stuff, because that ain't me. I could not be sitting down looking at all those lines of coding. That is just boring as all get out. I don't even know, so they deserve all the billions of dollars that they earn, okay, because they're brain. So God gave us all a gift. What gift did he give you, the individual? the gift of numbers, math, calculation, the gift of the arts, performing arts, singing, visual arts. They give you the gift of politics. Do you care about people and helping people get resources, and you want to see about helping out your fellow man in politics and changing laws? What gift did God give you? Okay. Did he give you the gift of making good arguments? Can you debate really well? Then you should probably be an attorney or something like that. Or what gift did God give you, the individual? And when you pursue that gift, that's when you are winning.
Yes, thank you so much for that. Like, as you said that, I do agree with what you say because, so many of us have not found that gift yet, And for me, this is like winning for me because I told my audiences that this is my dream to interview authors and artists and experts to be able to inspire to live their dream because so many of us have fear in acting on our dream, and I want them to be able to make them smile to say your dream can happen just as mine, right? And thank you so much for doing this intro. I'm very grateful to you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, Dan.
Yes, yes. And oh yeah, I was actually I get frustrated with the perspective, right? How do you actually, because there's one perspective, two perspective, and three perspective. I can't make the how can I get good at perspective?
Take a class, take a small class on your local community college on perspective, and they can show you all the different things about that. I can't do that unless without showing you. You can't talk about perspective. It has to be visual and seen, that's a visual thing. But yeah, I'll say the quickest way is to learn is to take a small class on perspective in your local area, and maybe perhaps a local community college. Okay. How to draw 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, and then 3-point perspective. That's it. That's the fastest way you can learn and stuff like that. And you can watch some videos on YouTube, and see what other artists out there have put out there for perspective. But yeah, but if you want some hands-on and accountability, I would suggest you go take a small class, maybe in like perhaps architecture or something like that. There's probably some entry-level course at your local community college, and you can just take that course. And if you really want to study perspective and things like that, or some basic drawing class, I would say do that because the teacher would have assignments there to guide you and to help you really understand. You have someone over your shoulder checking your work to give you that instant feedback that you need. That's perhaps the fastest way to learn perspective.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, and this almost the same thing what I said, but winning, but it's different because I know that you have a passion in your life. What is your passion, and what do you really love to do? I know it's art, but
yeah,
can you go deep
my
into it?
my bigger passion in life is just sharing my knowledge of art with the world. That's the best way to say it and to sum it up.
Okay, thank you so much. And what does success look like to you?
Success. Well, this goes back to the question you asked earlier. Success and what is winning? Same thing. What is your passion? What is your gift that God gave you? And are you pursuing it? That's the definition of success.
Do you have? And I was thinking about how can anybody find you online?
You can find me by going to my website, which is thecartoonblock.com, or you can find me on Instagram at thecartoonblock, and also, of course, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/cartoonblock.
Okay, thank you. And I would like to ask, for you, how can you, because I want to be able to charge, let's say if I wanted to create a course, like for law of attraction or whatever subject, because I've seen that you can be able to charge. What make you, because I have a fear, right, to be able to charge people. How can I overcome, because I know that you can charge, so how can I overcome that charge, like people?
You mean the fear of charging people for your
Yeah,
services?
yeah.
Okay. What
What
are you teaching people? What are you teaching people? What are you trying to sell?
I'm trying to sell, well, because I want to do book summaries and I want to create a course to, inspire people to live their dream. Because I do know how to, I understand people in a way that, like for instance, if I ask question about yourself and only focus on yourself, you'll say and if I try to relate you to you, then and I take focus off myself and talk to you as a person and
Hmm.
say your name, then would you, what you would, and if I try to relate you, then I would try to connect with you, like try to people skill stuff like that. And yeah, and I want, because it take time to do book review, so I want to be able to do like book summaries and get it do like service and get paid. So
Okay, I'm still confused. What are you trying to sell?
what I'm a course
A course that shows people what? That teaches them what?
that teaches how to attract things into the life. It's law of attraction, like it's
Law of attraction. Okay, so you're trying to teach people how to become successful and follow their dreams?
yes, yes, yes,
Okay. Okay, so you want to teach a course on how to be successful and people to follow their dreams, to inspire them. Like a motivational speaker might have a course or something. Okay, then.
yeah,
So your question is, how do you charge?
yes.
Okay,
How do you have that confidence to charge people?
you simply have to just do it. That's it. You simply have to do it. There's nothing else that's going to get you over that hump. You simply have to do it. You have to charge people. As far as a business, and you want to run this and treat this as a serious business, you're going to have, you can't do things for free all the time. Unfortunately, that's not how our world works. Okay. We all have to eat. We all need a roof over our head. We all have bills to pay. So in order for you to continue living, we're going to have to charge for our services. So you start out slowly. Maybe you have like a course you want people to down, maybe a video you want people to buy from you, and you could put that up on like maybe a website or a Gumroad perhaps, and just put a video up there and start charging there. And then as you grow, you will add more videos to that and make it a complete course, and you can charge a bigger price for it. But I would say the biggest thing that you can start doing is building up your credibility. So it's like, do you want to be known as an artist or do you want to be known as a motivational speaker? Which one? You cannot do both. You have to focus. Okay, you have to focus. You can't say I want to be a comic book artist and or manga artist and I want to be selling courses as a motivational speaker. You can't do both. I know as children they told us that you can be anything you want to be when you grow up. That's true. But you can only be one thing as you grow up. Everything else can just be your hobby. Okay. Like drawing is my main passion. So I looked at all my hobbies and what do I enjoy the most? Drawing. Okay, that's my career. Everything else is just a hobby. I'll play golf with my friends sometime. I'm not Tiger Woods. That's strictly a fun thing and I suck at it. Okay. But the more you build up your credibility in this one area, then the more confidence you have in charging people and stuff like that. How do you look? Do you look professional? Do your videos look good? Do you have a logo? Not that you need all that stuff at first, but you slowly build it up. How do you present yourself? Are you a good speaker? Do you speak very well? Do you speak with certainty and authority? Or do we stumble, stutter, and forget our words? People will look at those things, and as they see you in a better light, or that person speaks with clarity, they speak with confidence. It's the same thing that Oprah does. Oprah speaks with confidence. Oprah's not on stage, does this stuttering and things like that. No, over time, she may have had a fear of that before, but she progressively got better and better throughout her career, and now she's a very confident speaker. She believes in what she's saying. So the more confident you are, then you can go ahead and start charging. But at some point in time, if you want to treat your business as a real business, you have to charge for it. You can't do it for free. That's called a hobby, doing it for free. Okay. That's not a business. That's a hobby.
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate everything that you have done for me and for the audience. I really
Thank you
thank
for
you.
having me, Johnny. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Enjoy being here. Thank you.
Thank you. Have an amazing day. Oh wait, subscribe to my channel and follow me on I will send put in the description down below. Subscribe to my channel, like my video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.